Hi Stitchy friends! This is Chelsea from VermontStitchCo. Welcome to my Flosstube. This is Flosstube, I believe it's 14 at this point, so I'm so excited. 14 Flosstubes in. So welcome if you're brand new. If you're returning, hi, it's nice to see you again. I hope you're having a great week, a great start to your summer. I know we're not technically in summer yet, but here in Vermont it is super warm. It's been rainy for the past couple of weeks, and now we've got a little bit of a hot spell. Yesterday was in the mid 70s, closer to 80s, and today we're going to get close to 87. So later today I'll be having the AC on, but yeah, that's really hot for Vermont. You know, we're a wintry state, so getting up to 87 is super hot. But that being said, come August we're gonna hit the 100s. We did last year in August. We're probably gonna do it again this year, and I have family down south and they're like, Vermont gets that hot? Yeah, hot and humid. It is not fun. I am a winter girl, so I do not like that hot heat. Give me winter or Arizona dry heat. I'll take Arizona dry heat any day. But it is what it is. So I'm doing this early in the morning on Thursday, June 5th, because I don't want to have the AC running in the background. We don't have central AC here. It's just a window AC. And this little lump right here, that's Tyr. He's sleeping because it is so cool in my bedroom today. So he's taking a little nap. But yeah, so I wanted to show you my progress. I am finally done with that. It's not really big, but it's a relatively big cross stitch, the Under the Sea. I'm finally done with it, so I want to show you that today. I posted it on my Instagram. I put it up there. It's on my Etsy shop already, so if you want to check that out, the links are in the description for both my Instagram and my Etsy page, but VermontStitchCo, all one word. That's where you'll find me. So first off, a little you know, what's been going on. Last week my husband and I went to New York City for Monday afternoon, all day Tuesday, and then we came back Wednesday, drove down to Secaucus Station in New Jersey, and from Secaucus it's a 15-minute train ride in to get right into the city, Penn Station in New York City. So we did that. My husband went a few weeks prior, and he took the Vermonter train, which is a train that goes, I think it goes all the way up to Burlington, and then it goes down into New York City. It might also go down to DC, I'm not sure about that, but it took 5 or 6 hours because the train systems here in the US aren't that great, and Amtrak, you know, takes its time. It's a nice way of putting it. So instead of 6 hours, it was 4 hours, 3.5 to drive, and then, you know, 15 minutes into the city. And it was a short wait. You know, the trains from Secaucus into Penn Station run like every 15 or 20 minutes, so it was really nice. And when we used to live in Philly, we would go to Secaucus all the time and just take the train in. So when we were there, we did 8 miles of walking on Tuesday, and I was so sick of being in the car on Monday that I was like, let's walk from Penn Station all the way to our hotel, which was on 77th. So we walked all the way from Penn, which is on 34th, to 77th. So I enjoyed the walk. My husband did not, but I also don't really like the New York. I mean, the New York subway system is great, and it's fast and it's efficient, and it'll get you where you need to go. But if it's a particularly hot day, it smells like pee. So I don't like that, and I don't like the claustrophobic feeling of it either. So I was like, let's walk. I'm sick of driving and sitting down, so let's just walk. So we did, and then Wednesday we walked 8 miles. We went to the Met. Because I had never been to the Met before, and so I am an antiquities girl. I love looking at ancient relics, and yeah, just we went to ancient Rome and ancient Greece in those sections, and then we looked at the Egypt section, which I had never seen before, which was really exciting for me because I studied ancient Greece and Rome in college, so that was really nice to see all of that stuff. And then my husband was like, we have to go to the Monet section and see Rembrandt and all of those. And I was like, okay, fine. But to me, I don't find paintings as interesting as antiquities. So I was like, oh, cool, yeah, sunflower painting, yay, paintings. And his heart broke a little bit. He was like, who did I marry? So I was like, I'm sorry, I just, it's fine. We have different interests. I can appreciate the beauty of paintings. I mean, I have paintings. This is my sister's paintings. I have paintings all over the house. I appreciate the beauty. It takes a lot of work. I get it, but it's just not what draws my heart. So, yeah, he was a little disappointed in me. He was like moved every time he sees those paintings, and I'm just like, I'm hungry. And then after that, I was really hungry. So we walked across from the Met across Central Park, because it's on 77th, I think, but on the opposite side of Central Park. So we walked across Central Park, got some food because I was like, I don't care where we eat. I just need something. I need food. I'm hangry. I'm getting hangry at this point. And then right where we got some food is the Museum of Natural History. So I was like, please, can we go in there? It's been so long. So we walked around the Museum of Natural History, which I really like. And because I'm a dork, I wanted to see the dinosaurs. I was like, please, can we go see the dinosaur section? I don't care about anything else. So we walked through and I got to see the dinosaur section. We were there about 40 minutes before closing, so there weren't a lot of people, which was really lovely. We didn't have to compete with crowds, so I really liked that too. And then afterwards, my husband's friend from his master's program in college works with Ricky Gervais, and so I'm not going to say his name because I didn't get permission, so I'm not going to say his name, but he gave Akil and I, my husband's name is Akil and I, and then my parents tickets to see Ricky Gervais, which was really lovely and really generous. And I did make him a quilt as a thank you because that's how I was raised. You got to bring somebody something, and this is the second time he's done this for us. And my husband was like, he hates quilts, he's not gonna like it, why are you doing that, there's no need. And I was like, I was raised right. You're supposed to bring something when somebody does something nice, not just once but twice. Like, he has gone above and beyond. So I was like, I need to bring something, I need to do something nice for him, because I don't want him to feel like we're using him. That just, it feels gross to me. It felt gross. So my husband was giving me shit the whole time, and I had a quilt that I had made, and I was like, he's a guy, it's blues, it's oranges, I think he'll like it. If he doesn't, he can give it to his girlfriend, he can give it to his mom or his sister, you know, it'll be nice. And I gave it to him, and he was on the verge of tears. I was so happy, and I looked at my husband and said, told you, people like things and people like to feel appreciated. I was on cloud nine. I was like, quilts are amazing. And yeah, and oh, he was joking, this friend was joking, being like, oh, Kim Cattrall's coming, I'm gonna sit you next to Kim Cattrall. I was like, please don't, I like her, but that's too much stardom for me. He freaking put us right next to Kim Cattrall. We were all sitting, all four, we got there about a half hour early. We're pretty close to the stage, but not too close. And up comes Kim Cattrall, and she's like, excuse me, we're trying to get to our seats. We all stood up and gave her space, and I looked at her and went, oh! And then turned to my mom and went, that's Kim Cattrall, that's Kim Cattrall. My mom didn't, she was like, do, and didn't recognize her until I said it. And she walked by and she made eye contact with me and was like, thank you so much, I really appreciate it. And I was like, because I don't know about any of you, but I love Sex and the City, and I love Kim Cattrall's character, Samantha, the woman empowerment. I was like, yes, go girl. So I was like, I gave his friend some shit afterwards. Oops, am I allowed to swear? I gave him shiitake afterwards, being like, I can't believe you did that. That's messed up. I was so surprised. But we had a good time. We didn't get to spend the day with him. You know, he works a lot because he's working for Ricky. So he has a lot to do, but we were hoping we could have breakfast, but we got to see him twice, which was really nice. And just for a short period because he's, you know, London time and jet lag and all of that. But even just a little time was really, really nice to spend with him. So that was really great. And then we got home Wednesday afternoon, back to work right on Thursday morning. I was pretty sore from walking. I don't normally walk that much. I run on a regular, you know, 3 miles every other day on a regular basis, but that requires different body parts, so my feet were not happy. I have some of the worst luck with feet and getting blisters when I run, so it was not fun when I was walking. I got blisters between my toes. Ugh, not fun. And then Friday, I got to hang out with my friends. We had a girls' night, which was absolutely lovely. She was updating us on her, unfortunately, she's getting a divorce, but it's worked out pretty well so far. She's happy. She's got a new person in her life, and yeah, it's just lovely to see her smile and be so happy. It's probably for the best, you know, people say things happen for a reason, and to see her smiling and to see her light coming out again after so many years of, like, you know, being dragged down, and not that he was a bad person, it just she had a lot on her shoulders with 3 kids. One of them has a disability, so she was responsible for a lot of the stuff while also having to be the main breadwinner. Even if she's only working part-time, he's not really doing much of anything, so just to see her glowing again was just so wonderful. And so I was really happy to see. So we're hoping to do like a once a month get together, which is really nice since we're all over New England, so that'll be fun. Okay, enough of the blah blah blah. Let me get to the good stuff. It's not going to be that long of a video. Just checking the time to make sure I have some time. So yeah, here we go. This is the second piece to the underwater mer kitty. It is not exactly the same. You don't have to, each one could be done independently, but I'm going to show you both, but let me show you my newest one. This is the newest one. It is finally done. Full disclosure on the pattern that's on my Etsy shop, the colors are different, but this is what I love about cross stitching is you can make everything your own, unique. If you don't have the colors in your stash, you don't have to use what's called for. You can use what you already have. So these little guys are called hippocampus. Don't know why. They're a mythical creature. They don't exist in real life. But I think they're absolutely adorable. So what in my head, I imagine mama, 2 kids, and they're doing like a scavenger hunt. So they have something in their hands. This is a 14 count Aida. All my stuff is on 14 count Aida because that's the fabric size that I like to stitch on. This is tea dyed with black tea. Just like a generic black tea that I got from, well, we have Hannaford's, but it's like a Stop and Shop, any kind of grocery store, like the very bottom rack, cheapest black tea I could find. That's what I have, and it's like 100 pack of tea, so that you get a lot for your money. And that's what I dyed it on. I used like 10 to 15 bags of tea and let it steep for a very long time. I boiled the fabric in water for a few minutes, then put the tea bags in, let it boil for a few more minutes, and then turned it off and just let it sit. I put some spoons on top of the fabric so that the fabric stays under the water so that it gets color the same all the way across. Oh, hello, Shadow. But so that's how I got this kind of dark color. And again, you don't have to tea dye if you don't want to. If you like white, go for white. If you want a different color, choose a different color, but just make sure that whatever floss you choose to stitch on, that they pop. So I chose tea dye because I have a lot of purple for the seaweed. So I didn't do purple Rit dye, which I could have because Merkitty is on purple, but I didn't. Do I have any? I have a little bit of purple in here, but nothing fancy, not as much. I just wanted, in my head, I imagine she's up higher in this mythical world, like in the ocean, up higher towards the sun, and they're deeper down in the ocean, so it would be a darker brown color. So I think they look really nice next to each other. Could I have made them match? Absolutely. Could I have done this one in blue and this one in purple? Yeah, it's totally up to you, but I think they're lovely. And she's in a hoop, as you can see. And this is not a hoop. This is a wooden frame that my husband bought that I hot glued around the edge to keep it down and to stretch. I couldn't get it to fit inside the frame because it would be too big, and I didn't want to cut like the bottom of her off or anything, so I just hot glued it around. And there, as you can see, there are no other decorations. This does sit flat on a surface. I can also, because it's a frame, hang it up if I wanted to, just with the nail and hang it right on the nail. So either way works. I didn't want any extra frills. I have played around with the idea for both of these to get some seashells and hot glue some seashells around the edges. I don't think so much for this one, but perhaps a seashell, you know, maybe right here to kind of encompass this open space would work. But I don't want to buy like a 50 pack of seashells if I'm just going to use one. So that's something that I'm thinking about. I have a trip to Michael's planned, I think maybe next week, because, oh, look at Shadow cleaning himself. Because I have a new cross stitch that's again summer underwater theme, that I want to get glittery. There's embroidery floss that has not glitter in it, but like glitter specks or a thread of glitter. I'm not quite sure how they do it, but because it's underwater, and I'm using a lot of water, so it's a smaller piece, but it's totally full of, like here you can see there's no blue to indicate underwater. In this other one I'm going to have blue to indicate underwater, and I want sparkly bits inside. So I've never used any of those kind of floss. They're supposed to be good, but if you guys have any experience with the embroidery DMC floss with glitter bits in it, let me know. Tell me how you find it. I'd be really curious to know. And then lastly, last night, because I just finished that yesterday, last night I started working on the, let's see if I can get it out, this that my mom got me from Scotland. Very generous of her. It's just a little bookmark. So I started working on it. I'm not going to show you the pattern because it's not my pattern. I did not come up with it. I did not design it. Therefore, I'm not going to show the exact pattern, but it's super, super small. This is not 14 count, I don't think, or perhaps it is, but it's just not Ada. But either way, it's really different. Even with my lights, I have a neck thing that has 2 lights at the end. So even with using that, it's really difficult for me to stitch on this. So it is slow going. I've only done that much. And the good thing is it's, you know, it's not going to be that big, but it's still, it's difficult. It's really, really difficult. And I'm doing something different. I'm hanging the string down, which normally I cut the string off every time I use it, but this time I'm hanging it down to see if it makes my life a little easier. They also want 3 strands of floss, which I normally only use 2. So it's a little bit different. It's going to take a while because it's, for whatever reason, it's really difficult for me to see and stitch on, but it is what it is. Okay, so I am going to end there for today. I know it's really short, but hopefully I'll have 2 patterns by the next time, finished patterns by the next time I see you. I am gonna do, follow me on Instagram, I am gonna do a week of fall Halloween theme cross stitching just for a week, June-oween or Halloween in June, just to get me started for the fall, and then I'll put it away and come back you know, as we get into September. And then for July, I'm going to do a week of Christmas in July just to get me started and then put it away for Christmas. So have a great day. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't subscribed already, please do hit that subscribe button. It helps me get noticed. It lets me know that you like my content, and you know, it's a good encouragement boost to keep going and keep continuing to move forward with my YouTube channel. Please like my video. That helps people with similar interests see this video, and yeah, have a great day. Enjoy, if you're in a sunny space, enjoy some sunshine, enjoy some stitching, and I will see you next time. Bye.